Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Make It Yourself. In today's tutorial we are going to make this squished rat bookmark. It can also be used as a toy for kids. So let's get started. So for this I have used three different colors of yarn, a gray, pink and a white yarn, and the hook that I'm using is 3 mm. You can find more details on things used in the description part of the video. So we're going to start by making a magic ring and making a chain one using the pink yarn, and into the magic ring we are going to make 6 single crochets. So this is the nose of the rat. So we are going to make the entire head with the legs and the body in one go, and then we are going to make the ears and the eyes, and then we're going to stitch them onto the rat itself. So after 6 single crochet we are going to close the magic ring, and we are not going to slip stitch to the first stitch. Instead we are going to work on top of the first stitch. So we'll be marking the first stitch to know which is the beginning stitch of each row. So on top of the first stitch we are going to make 1 single crochet. So after making the 1 single crochet on top of the first stitch, we are going to place a marker on it so that we know that is the first stitch of this particular round. So place a marker. So this is round number 2. The first round we made 6 single crochet, and this is round number 2. So in this we are going to make just 1 single crochet over each stitch. So we will have a total of 6 single crochet by the end of this round. So this is the nose part of the rat, which we are making in pink, and we are in the second round and we are just making 1 single crochet over our stitches. So here we are done with the 6 single crochets. We can trim the center tail yarn. So now we are going to connect the gray yarn to the already made nose of the rat. So we are going to make a slip knot, and then we are going to pull this slip knot through the marked stitch. So here we are, the marked stitch is the first stitch of the previous row. So as I said, we are going to work on top of the first stitch instead of making a slip stitch. So we'll be inserting our hook through the first stitch and pulling the slip knot through the first stitch. And now that we have 2 loops in our hook, we are going to treat this as a single crochet and pull a loop through both the loops. So for this round we are just going to make 1 single crochet over each stitch. So while making the stitches, what you can do is you can place the tail yarns behind the stitch so that you are making the stitches on top of the tail yarn and you are hiding it while doing so, or you can even leave them as it is and stitch them in later using a needle. So for this round we're just going to make 1 single crochet over each stitch, and this is round number 3. So keep making the single crochets till we reach the marked stitch. So here we are at the last stitch, and after this whatever excess tail yarn is left off, you can trim those trim those tail yarn off. And now remove the marker, and we are going to move on to row number 4. So into the first stitch, we are over the first stitch, we are going to make one single crochet. So make the single crochet and mark it. So for this round the pattern will be one single crochet in one stitch and two single crochets in the next stitch. So whenever we make two single crochets in the next stitch, we are calling it as an increase. So we're going to make one single crochet in one stitch and an increase in the next stitch. So we'll repeat this set 3 times, and by the end of this round we should have a total of 9 single crochets for this entire round. So continue this pattern till the marked stitch. So for round number 5 the pattern is uh, 2 single crochets, that is one single crochet in the first stitch, one single crochet in the next stitch, and then an increase in the third stitch. So we made a single crochet over the marked stitch and placed the marker back. Now we're making another single crochet in the second stitch, and in the third one we are going to make an increase. So to make an increase we are going to make 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So again we are going to make one single crochet in the first stitch, one single crochet in the second stitch, and in the third stitch we are going to make an increase. So we are going to continue this till the end of this round, and by the end of the round we should have a total of 12 single crochet. So for round number 5 the pattern is in the first 3 stitches we are going to just make one single crochet over each, and on the fourth stitch we are going to make an increase. So we should have a total of 15 single crochets by the end of this round. So for round number 7 the pattern is in the first 4 stitches we are going to make 4 single crochets, that is one single crochet in each of the stitches. So this is the third single crochet and the fourth single crochet, and on the fifth stitch we are going to make an increase. So make 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So continue this pattern till the end of this round, and you should have a total of 18 single crochets. Then coming to round number 8 we are going to make 5 single crochets in the first 5 stitches, and following that we are going to make an increase. So as you can see the single crochets that we're making keeps on increasing, and then we make an increase on the next one. So in the previous round we made one single crochet over the first 4 stitches. For this round we're making one single crochet over the first 5 stitches and then an increase. So we should have a total of 21 single crochets by the end of this round. So mark the beginning stitch and continue with the same pattern till you reach the marked stitch. So once you reach the marked stitch we'll be moving on to the next round. So for the next round, similar to what we did before, for this round it is one single crochet over the first 6 stitches and then an increase. So make one single crochet over each stitch for the first 6 stitches, and after that we will be making an increase, and we will repeat this pattern till the end of this round, and we should have a total of 24 single crochets by the end of this round. So it's the last stitch. So generally the last stitch always ends with an increase. So this is the last stitch, and after that we move on to round number 10. So for in round number 10 we are just going to make one single crochet over each stitch, so there is no increase. And the same round number 10 what we are doing, we are going to do for the next 4 rounds also. So from round number 10 to round number 14 we are just going to make one single crochet in each stitch. So you can place a marker for each beginning of each round to know that you have made 5 rounds, that is round 10 to round 14, 5 rounds of just one single crochet in each stitch. So as you can see I have placed here 5 markers and I have reached the end of round number 5. So round number 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is round number 5. So at this point you can remove the markers and then move on to round number 15. So in round number 15 what we are going to do is we are going to make one single crochet in each stitch for the first 2 stitches. So this is the first stitch and we're going to mark it, and then the second stitch also we're going to make one single crochet, and the next 2 stitches we are going to make a decrease. So insert into the first one, pull a loop, insert into the next one, pull a loop. When you have 3 loops, pull through all 3 of them. So we made a decrease here. Then again into the next one make a single crochet, and into the next one make another single crochet, and then make a decrease in the next 2. So repeat this pattern till the end of this round, and by the end you should have a total of 18 single crochets. So we are at the end of round number 15, and after that we are going to make one single crochet over the first stitch and mark it again, and then we are going to make a decrease for the next 2 stitches. So insert into the first one, insert into the second one. When we have 3 loops, pull through all 3 of them. So continue this pattern of one single crochet and then one decrease till the end of this round, and by the end of the round you should have a total of 12 single crochets. So before we complete this round we are going to stuff the head of the rat. So insert enough stuffing. You need not uh, uh, enter too much of stuffing because it is going to be a squished rat. So just to make the head, just to have the head retain its shape, you can enter enough stuffing for that, and then you can complete the rest of the stitches and complete this round number 16. And by the end of round number 16 we have a total of 12 single crochets. So what we are going to do is we are going to skip the first and the last stitch, and we are going to join the 2 sides together, and we are going to stitch over two stitches at a time. So skip the first and the last stitch, and now the second and the second last stitch we are going to insert our hook, and we are going to pull through them one loop and then make a single crochet. So since we are skipping two stitches, we will be having 10 stitches left. So since we are combining two stitches at a time, so we should have 5 single crochets. So mark the first stitch with a marker, and then again go through the next stitch of this side and the other stitch on the other side, pull a loop and make a single crochet. So continue this till the end of this row, and you should have a total of 5 single crochets by the time you reach the end stitches. So this is the last stitch, and after this you can chain one and turn your work, and now we're into, we can say, row 18. So for row 18, into the very first stitch make 2 single crochets, then in between we have 3 stitches, so make 1 single crochet over each, so that is 3 single crochets over 3 stitches, and into the last stitch that the marker is placed, into that you make 2 single crochets again. So by the end of this row we should have 7 single crochets. So chain one and turn again. So here again we are going to make 2 single crochets in the first stitch, and in the in between stitches, that is the next 5 stitches, we are just going to make 1 single crochet over each stitch, and again on the last stitch we are going to make 2 single crochets on the same stitch. So over the last stitch we are going to make here 2 single crochets. Now at this point we are going to make our first leg. So we're going to start by making a chain of 12. The pattern for the leg will be same for all the 4 legs, so I'll be showing you how to make just one leg, and you can repeat this pattern for the other legs in exactly the same manner. So we're going to chain 12 here, and after chain 12 we are going to connect the pink yarn. So for that we are going to first make a slip knot with the pink yarn, and we are going to pull this slip knot loop through the loop of the gray yarn. So make it a bit tight and pull through the gray loop, and make the gray loop tight as well. And after that we are going to make the fingers of the leg. So we are going to chain using the pink yarn. So we are going to chain 6 now. So this is the first finger or toe, whatever you call it. So after making a chain of 6, into the first chain we are going to make 1 single crochet, and into the next 4 chains we are just going to make a slip stitch. So first slip stitch, the second slip stitch, third slip stitch, and then the fourth slip stitch. Now we're going to make 3 more fingers using the same pattern. So chain 6 first, and after that over the first chain make a single crochet, and then make 1 slip stitch over the next 4 chains. So this is the second finger, and so we need to have a total of 4 fingers. So repeat this pattern and make 2 more fingers so that you have a total of 4 fingers. So this pattern will be same for all the legs, and you can repeat the same pattern to make the legs, the second, third and the fourth leg as well. So this is the fourth finger, and here too we're making 6 chain, and we're making a single crochet over the first chain, and we are slip stitching the rest of the chains. So once you have slip stitched into the last chain of this finger, then we are going to pull a loop through each joint. So under the third finger, second finger and the first finger, we are going to pull a loop, and when you have 4 loops, you're going to pull through all the loop at once. So as you can see here, uh, the fingers are joined together now, and now we are going to connect back to the gray yarn. So we're going to pull a loop using the gray yarn as shown, and now over the gray chain we are going to make 1 single crochet over each chain. So continue making this single crochets over each chain till we reach the base of the chain. You can trim off the pink yarn, and there will be tail yarns left which we need to stitch in using a needle later on. So here I'm just making 1 single crochet over each chain till I reach the base of the leg. So here I'm almost at the base of this leg. So now what we are going to do is we're just going to make 1 slip stitch over the body part. So here we have 9 stitches, so over the next 9 stitches we are just going to make a slip stitch. The reason we are making a slip stitch is because we want both the legs to be at the same level. If we are going to make a single crochet, then one leg will be placed higher than the other. So we are just making a slip stitch, and we are not considering this slip stitch as a row of stitch at all. So we are going to the other side using this slip stitch, and then when we reach the other end we are going to make our second leg. So this is the last stitch of the body. So after making a slip stitch through this stitch as well, we are going to make the second leg. So again, chain 12 and repeat the pattern of how we made the first leg, and here we have made the second leg. Once you're done making the second leg, and you make 1 single crochets over each chain of the leg, and then reach the base of the leg. Now we are at the body part, so into the first stitch we are going to make an increase, or we're going to make 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So make 2 single crochets over the first stitch, then in the next 7 stitches we are just going to make 1 single crochet over it. So make 7 single crochets over the next 7 stitches. And when you reach the last stitch, we are going to make again 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So in the last stitch, make 2 single crochets over the same stitch. So by the end of this round, you should have a total of 11 single crochets. Chain 1 and turn your work, and now make just 1 single crochet over each stitch, and you should still have 11 single crochets, because we are not making any increases, we are just continuing with the same number of stitches. So this is row 22, and we are just making 1 single crochet over each stitch. So this is the body of the rat, and we will repeat this to get the required length. So every time at the end of the row, chain 1 and turn your work, and then just make 1 single crochet over each stitch till the end of the row, and then again chain 1 and turn your work. So continue this pattern till you have achieved the required length. So the length that you will be looking for, it will be based on the book for which you are going to use it as a bookmark. So you can stop increasing the length once the length is such that it is almost covering the entire length of the book, but you have around 1 inch space still left. So at this point, what we are going to do is we are going to make the third leg. So for third leg, again use the pattern that I had shown for the first leg, and repeating that pattern, make the third leg. Once you're done with the third leg, like how we had done to move to the other side, we are just going to make a slip stitch over the entire stitches. So this makes sure that the legs are at the same level. So we're just going to slip stitch over each of the stitches till we reach to the other side, and on the other side we are going to make the fourth leg. So make the slip stitch, reach the other side, and after that again chain 12 and make the fourth leg. So make the fourth leg using the same pattern as shown for the first leg, and once you're done with the fourth leg, we will be then making 1 single crochet over each stitch of the body. So make 1 single crochet over each stitch, so we will still have 11 single crochets over the body part. So once you are done with the last stitch, we will want to decrease the number of stitches. So to decrease the number of stitches, what we are going to do is we are going to turn our work without making a chain 1. So this will reduce 1 stitch at a time. So now make 1 single crochet over each stitch, and you will see that by the end of this row you should have 10 stitches left. So just make 1 single crochet over each stitch, and by the end of this row you will have 10 stitches left, and we are going to again turn our work without chaining. So by the end of this row we should have 9 stitches left. So 9 stitches is when we will be working on the tail. So once you have 9 stitches available for this row, we are going to start making the tail in the next. So turn without making any chain, and then we are going to slip stitch over the first 3 stitches. After that we are going to connect the pink yarn. So to connect the pink yarn, like usual, we are going to make a slip knot first and pull that slip knot through the existing loop, and then for the tail part we are going to chain 30. So if you want a longer tail, you can chain more than 30 also. Then into the first 20 chains we are just going to make 1 single crochet in each, and over the next 10 stitches we are just going to make 1 half double crochet over each. So you will see that the last stitch of the half double crochet will fall over the gray stitch. So this is our 9th half double crochet, and the 10th half double crochet will fall on the chain of the with the gray yarn. And now what we're going to do is we are going to skip 1 stitch, and so and on the 3rd stitch we are going to make a slip stitch using the pink yarn. We're going to chain 1, pull it tight, and then trim off this pink yarn. Now using the gray yarn we are going to make slip stitch over the remaining 3 stitches. So make 3 slip stitches. You can also hold the pink yarn behind the stitch to hide it while making your slip stitches. Now you can, after making the last slip stitch, you can chain 1, pull the yarn tight, and trim off this yarn. So here, as you can see, the head, body, the legs and the tail is ready for the rat. And so now we are going to make the ear. To make the ear, start off by making a magic ring and making a chain of 1, and then we are going to make 5 single crochets into the magic ring. So make 5 single crochets into the magic ring, and once you are done with that, pull the tail yarn to close the magic ring, and then into the first stitch we are just going to work over the first stitch. We're not going to make a slip stitch. So over the first stitch we are going to insert our hook, and for this round the pattern will be 1 increase in each stitch. So we're going to make 2 single crochets in each stitch. So this is the first stitch. So first make 1 single crochet and then mark it, and after that make 1 more single crochet in the same stitch. So make another single crochet in the same stitch. So similarly into each stitch make 2 single crochets. So make 1 single crochet, make another single crochet in the same stitch. So repeat this 5 times for all the 5 stitches, and by the end of this round you should have a total of 10 single crochets. So now we are into round number 3, and for round number 3 remove the marker. Into the first one we make first 1 single crochet and place the marker again. Into the next stitch we are going to make an increase. So in the next one we make 2 single crochets. So make 1 single crochet and make another single crochet in the same stitch. So the pattern for this round number 3 is 1 single crochet in the first stitch and 2 single crochet in the next stitch. So it's like 1 single crochet in one stitch and an increase in the next. So repeat this pattern till the end of this round, so that by the end of this round you have a total of 15 single crochets. So now we are going to make the edge of the ear using the gray yarn. So make a slip knot, and as usual pull the slip knot through the first stitch, and once you have two loops in the hook, you can either make a single crochet and make a slip stitch. So here I'm making a slip stitch and doing a chain one instead of a single crochet. So this chain one counts as a single crochet. So into the next stitch also I'll be making one more single crochet, and into the third stitch I will be making an increase. So into the third, while doing this you can hold the tail yarns behind the stitches to hide the tail yarn while doing your stitches. So make an increase into the third stitch. So for the pattern for this round is one single crochet in the first stitch, one single crochet in the next stitch, and an increase or two single crochets in the third stitch. So repeat this pattern till the end of this round, and you should have a total of 20 single crochets. So here we are at the end of the round, and we are making two single crochets or an increase in the last stitch, and then we are going to make a slip stitch into the very first stitch, and then we are going to chain one, and we are going to trim the yarn, but make sure to leave a long tail yarn because you will be using this to stitch the ear to the mouse. Now we're going to make the eyes. So for the eyes, make a magic ring and chain one. Now make 5 single crochets into the magic ring, and once you're done with 5 single crochets, pull the tail yarn and close the magic ring. And as usual we'll be working on top of our previous round. So into the first stitch we are first going to make an increase. So make 2 single crochets into the first stitch. You can mark the first stitch, and the pattern for this round is one increase in each stitch. So make 2 single crochets in each stitch, and by the end of this round you should have a total of 10 single crochets. So repeat this till the end of the round. And moving on to the next round, we will be working on top of our previous round. So remove the marker and make one single crochet over it and place the marker back. Now we are just going to make one single crochet over each stitch for this round. So by the end of this round you should still have a total of 10 single crochets. So continue making one single crochet over each stitch. So once you have reached the mark stitch, which is the first stitch, you're going to make a slip stitch to it, and you're going to chain one and pull the yarn tight and trim the yarn. So while trimming the yarn, make sure to leave a long tail yarn, and you can trim off the center yarn a little bit and leave a long tail yarn so that you can use it to make a stitch. Now to make the pupil you can use a black bead and stitch it to the center of the white here, or you can take a black yarn and make few knots, and once you have few knots you can pull the two ends of the tail through the center part, and after you pull the two tail yarns on either side. Over the white tail yarn that you have at the center, over it you can place some knots. So once you have secured using few knots, you can trim off the center tail yarns. So here one eye is ready. You need to make another eye in a similar manner. So here we have the body of the rat, and we are going to stitch the eyes and the ears. So we're going to start by first stitching the eyes and then the ears. So we'll be placing the eyes towards the nearer to the nose. So here there is no right or wrong way in doing this. What I am doing is I'm using a needle and then stitching the eye to the body, and just making one stitch over the body and one stitch over the eye. So once you have gone through the stitches or made an entire round around the eye, at the end you can place a knot. So once you have placed a knot over the first stitch, you can trim off the yarn, and this yarn you can pull it through using a smaller crochet yarn into the inside of the body of the mouse. So here I've attached two eyes, and now in a similar manner I'm going to stitch the ear also. So you can place just around 2 or 3 stitches over the base of the ear, and once it is secure you can place a knot and trim off the yarn. Here to the tail yarn you can pull it to the inside part of the head and hide it on the inner side. So just pull this tail yarn inside into the stuffing and hide the tail yarn. So attach the other ear in a similar manner, and you can see this cute mouse or cute rat here is ready. And you need to stitch in all the tail yarns, and also you can stiffen it using a stiffening spray to give it a more proper shape. I hope you like this video. Do subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon for notifications and give me a thumbs up. And thank you everyone for watching. Have a great day.